West Oz is such a sick place. It's beautiful and it's a real calm place. There's not much going on until you get in the ocean or you go out and do something in nature. Everything's intense there and the waves are really good. I love going here and the waves kind of remind me of home. They're big, powerful reef breaks and they come from a long way out, so there's a lot of power on these waves and I just really enjoy surfing here. We went over to West Oz a little bit early just to go get some practice and it looked like the waves were going to be pretty fun. And leading up to the comp, the waves were really good. Every day was, firing. I felt like I was surfing good. Surfing a lot of different spots. There's a lot of good, fun places to surf around in West Oz and, not only where the contest is. As soon as the waiting period started for the contest, it seemed like all the waves disappeared and, we went on a pretty long series of lay days. And at that point, you just trying to keep busy and find things to do. I ran into an old friend that I met when I used to come over and do these training camps with Jake Patterson. This guy's name is Danny Green and he's actually a world champion boxer. It's just really cool to be able to, travel to different places and create these new relationships and meet new people, and that's the the joy of doing what we do. We get to see a lot of new things, meet a lot of new people, and make relationships around the world. And Danny is one of those people that I really cherish his relationship, and he's passed a lot of knowledge down to me, and he invited me to come train with him, and it was really fun, especially during the late days, to just stay busy and keep the body moving, and I obviously love boxing, and it really just puts my mind at ease, and you know, I'm able to do something a little different. And you know, Danny's one of the best boxers in the world, so to be able to train with him was awesome.
Jump and not shoot the ball. Oh, wild. Lobbing him.
Who's the best basketball player here?
Me. Straight hammer.
We're gonna see right after this.
Next round. Oh. Gotta get it in there.
You got this one, man.
I don't know. Parker got this shot, but.
Oh!
That was that one too.
Oh. Walk away with a win.
Finally, day one of the comp, they finally called it on. The waves are pretty massive. It's the biggest I've probably ever seen Margaret River. It was breaking in the middle of the channel. I was there on dark and I was just tripping out at how big it was. But you know, I was fairly excited, a little nervous, just not knowing what to expect with the conditions and stuff. And you know, this is kind of make or break for me. This is the last event for me to try and re-qualify for the halfway cut on tour. And you know, this is the first heat that I'm surfing in Margaret River for, you know, 3 years or so. And you know, I'm nervous and excited, and there's just a lot of emotions going on. Being back in West Oz was really sick, and you know, especially just because I got to work with Jake Patterson again. He doesn't travel and coach anymore, so you know, when I'm in Western Australia, I'm able to hit him up, and you know, we're able to work with each other for, you know, that particular event. And you know, this is his spot. Jake's a guru out at Main Break at Margaret River, and you know, he's won this event before. He knows what it takes, and you know, he's just all around, just makes me, you know, relax and reminds me to have a good time with it. And you know, that's key for me. I feel like I take it really seriously, and sometimes I just need to loosen up, and that'll free me up to do my best surfing. I was up against Ryan Callahan and Kelly Slater. It's always exciting when you have Kelly Slater in your heat. You know, everyone's gonna be watching, there's gonna be a crowd, and there's a little different excitement for those heats, just because, you know, he's the greatest of all time. It's as if like you're playing a basketball game with Michael Jordan. And for me to still be able to compete against Kelly is awesome, and you know, it got me excited to go out there and try and perform.
This is the moment we've been waiting for after some down days, Rich. It looks like it's time for the men to take to the lineup today.
Yeah, it's huge. It's gigantic out there. Zeke Lau there, big front side jam right under the lip. Strong, big opening manoeuvres. 6.33 for Zeke Lau. As we cut back to live action and see CALLINAN looking to back up that opening ride. And here goes the 11-time world champion. Lining up this end section, he's going to opt out of this one. As we see Zeke there, oh, awkward fall. Over the falls, laying on his equipment there.
The heat was real back and forth. There's a lot of waves ridden and a lot of opportunity to get scores, and it kind of came down to just one more wave at the end. I was actually in second place trying to defend my advancing spot, and Kelly was in third, which is a nerve-wracking position to be in, just being that Kelly Slater's behind you. You only need a small score, so really had to be smart. And I held my priority towards the end, and one more wave came that allowed some scoring potential, and I actually took it off Kelly. It was my best wave of the heat and ended up going first.
As we see Zeke taking off once again. Beautiful big drawn out carve and a monster finish. This is going to be a big score, and he knows it.
Oh wow, what a great ride, and he just hung on by his toenails. That was just pure commitment.
My knees hurt just watching it, Bugs. 8.67, and he moves into the lead. CALLINAN now in second spot, and Slater's going to run out of time here.
Happy to make it through my first round heat, but I know in the back of my mind the job's not done yet. I got to make a few more rounds to really solidify my spot in the halfway cut and re-qualify for the tour the next year. So this is kind of do or die, and these late days are killing me. The downtime in between is the hardest to deal with, and I have so much pent-up nervous energy that I need to get out, but I also need to relax and rest. So I'm kind of on edge, and I'm just trying to stay ready for that next day they run round 3. What are the numbers for the show? How big is it going to be tomorrow?
Easy at 17 seconds.
During our heat, midday.
Yeah.
My leash is too small. I cannot bail. That's another thing I have to get. I have to get a way bigger leash.
You gonna surf or you gonna cruise?
I think I should probably surf. Okay, I'm gonna go down there. Try to catch 2 waves and bail.
Text you for a call.
Huh?
I text you for a call.
Okay, shoots. You can only bring so many boards in your bags, and the biggest board I brought was a 6'3", and I thought that would be big enough for it, but for this next swell I don't think it is. So I got to hit up Jake Patterson and go raid his garage to see if he's got a bigger board for me. West End, what's this thing right here? One?
Yeah. So this is 6'6", like, look how narrow it is. I picked it up last night and went, the volume's probably right, but it's so narrow.
Like this, I'm thinking if I'm going right, probably ride the 6'3". This is just like,
If it's big left.
if it's just big lefts, huh?
Yeah. I reckon the 7'1" if it's big lefts. Well, you're going to catch waves and you're going to draw lines instead of like, it's a proper board. I'll go with the 7'1" then.
Because like midday looks like it's the biggest.
Yeah, no, you're going to be.
Nah, I'm midday.
You're going to be copping the big. If it's overlapping, you might be a bit earlier, but still, it's getting bigger all day. Like the morning could be kind of mellow. You go, oh yeah, no worries, got it, and then it's going to go, oh, that set's bigger. Oh shit, hang on a minute, that set's a bit bigger. I reckon you just go for a little, take it down, take it for a surf the Savi, just a couple of waves, and then you cover it. Paddle hard. Don't miss a wave.
So we just picked up some boards from Snake. picked up a 6'6" and a 6'10". Snake tails shapes. Snake's a pretty good shaper. So we're gonna get some lunch and try and head back down there and see how these things go. Hopefully they went better than the last one he made me, because he made me a shortboard last time and I broke it in one session. This is one of the perks with working with Jake in Western Australia. You know, when you get in positions like this where you need to try a board, or you know, you need a little more resources or things you need help with. You know, he lives right there, so he has, you know, everything, and he was, you know, fortunate enough to help me, and I was really stoked. And you know, as soon as I got in the water, the board felt mental. I don't know what it was. It was, you know, 6'6" is kind of long for me, but it didn't feel like it, and felt like I kind of just connected with the board immediately. You know, on my first wave, and everything just felt really good. So I was pretty stoked on the board, and you know, I was surfing good on it. So I felt like, you know, if they run the contest the next day, I'll probably be on this board. Feels so good somehow. Fuck, let's trip. Fuck, we had another gear and everyone it was flying. So I'm tripping. It's a 6'6". So might have to try, see how it goes in the morning, but crazy. I just grabbed it. Oh, I remember he was doing the spray and he said like, oh, what do you guys think of the fit of the spray? And I was like, oh, it's so bad. 6'6", but it felt like a fucking 6'2". Look at the needle nose on this thing. Are you gonna be bombing tomorrow? Oh fuck, I heard in the morning it won't be that big. It'll be like fun, probably the good. Other day. Yeah. And then is it smaller? Is it just gonna get bombed again after? So it's gonna be like fucking 20 It's like, if that was in Hawaii, that'd be like Eddie swell. Surfing right now. It's Eddie swell. It's already pretty big. I'm baffled. That's sick. He's jealous. So sick. Everything we've ever... Yeah, everything I've talked to Snake about in boards is right here. It's right here. It's actually not bad. yeah. It's like, well, it's kind of a good board. I know, I'm going to text him out. He's like, dude, is this your magic board of all magic boards? Yeah, are you... Boys are psyching on the board. It felt good. I gotta see how it looks. And then we can call them and tell them. But we gotta check the clips. Can't get too excited, you know? So it's coming down to it. They only have 2 days left in the waiting period and they need both days to run. So it's looking like they're gonna run the contest tomorrow. A little nervous, a little anxious, but stoked I got to try the board out, and it's looking like I'm probably gonna ride this board tomorrow. So I'm just gonna try and get a good night's rest and wake up and be ready for anything. So this is it, this is the moment. It's do or die. I need to make this heat right now, or else, you know, I won't be making the halfway cut, and I'll be falling off tour and be back on the QS in a month. And you know, it's all gonna come down to this moment. The waves are absolutely huge. It's wild, it's all over the place, but you know, I feel like I'm as prepared as I could ever be, and you know, I just gotta go out there and, you know, do what I do and perform and surf.
Jordy up against Zeke Lau. This should be a fun heat. We mentioned it as we went to the break. Two of the heavyweights on the CT, two of the tallest guys.
giant wave.
Oh, look at the size of this thing. It's throwing open. He maybe could have got in it for a moment, but he's going to go to the rail, and there is one of the best turns we've seen all day. Big drawn out carve. Jordy knows he wants to get to that end section quickly. Have a look at that water coming together. Behind him, Zeke. He gets an opportunity to line something up on the inside here. Drives up into it. Goes the layback jam to get started. These guys on some bigger boards. And looks like Zeke's called on a bit of vintage equipment too.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. So I'm pretty sure Zeke has raided Coach Jake Patterson's garage and pulled out a recent board that Jake shaped for himself. So wait patiently for that open face. A quick snap off the top here. And then a second wrap. And then he outruns the foam.
Late drop. Out onto that open face. Hooks back, draws the carve out nicely, drops to the bottom. Looks to set up this inside now. Banks off the foam. Here comes the white water. Can he hold on for the finish? He doesn't. Here goes Jordy Smith having a look on the outside. See Zeke on the inside, doesn't like what's being presented by that section, so he opts out. Here we go, Jordy Smith, trying to get rid of a 6 at the moment to push the requirement higher for Zeke Lau. Big section there. And Jordy's just looking on today, wants the finish. Hanging on with all he's got. He's finished that one. He knows the importance of it. Just on the fact that that 7.17 could have potentially been in the 9s.
So it was another seesaw battle. Me and Jordy were going back and forth on scores. I had the lead for a little while, then he took it back. But ultimately, towards the end of the heat, the heat came down to one wave, and I made one bad decision going on a wave that really didn't pan out for me. And 2 minutes later, pretty much the wave of the heat comes in, and Jordy had priority, and he took it off me, and that was pretty much it. He got a 9 on that wave, and I wasn't able to answer back in time, but that's how heats go. At the end of the day, you're dealing with Mother Nature, and sometimes things just don't play out, and there's a lot that's not in your control, and you got to be able to deal with that. And Jordy got the better of me in that heat, and sent me packing. This year's been a wild year, a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, I wasn't able to, stay on tour, but at the same time, I'm right where I want to be. I'm competing with the best in the world and following my passions and doing what I love. And I want to use all these experiences that I've been having to, make me better, make me stronger as a person and as a surfer. And, I love what I do, and, I'm not going to stop doing it. So I'll see you back next year on tour.